I'm here with Mark Nelson of Rio Grande, and you know, Mark, we're talking about taking all of your jewelry making to the next level, and I think what really helps us to do that is having the right tools.
Right.
And what I love is that you're going to show us some tools right now that really will elevate that.
Right. One of the fundamental skills is sawing sheet metal. And you pretty much have to do it almost at every stage on many projects. So I wanted to show you a process called piercing, in which you use a jeweler's saw frame and some those little tiny saw blades.
Right.
So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your saw blades, and they come in a dozen pack because...
I'm always amazed at how thin they are.
Right.
Yeah.
And they break real easily. So they always come in a gross or a dozen. Now what you want to make sure, kind of hold this against your body.
Okay.
And
Out there.
yeah. The blade, the teeth have to point up at you and down. And you just clamp it in the clamps, and you kind of have to squeeze it to give it some tension. So when you want that little ting. Get it centered in the clamps.
Okay.
That.
There it is.
And you'll hear a little ting.
It's like an instrument.
All right, and you want the
String.
teeth to be pointing down on the surface right here. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your design, and on the paper and the metal, put down some rubber cement and let it dry, so that when you push it down, it's like a contact cement. It's ready to go.
Okay.
Okay. Now what you want to do is when you cut out the inside of this pattern, in order to do that, you got to drill a hole. Okay. One of the best ways to do that is in a flex shaft.
Okay.
Now,
Which is another tool.
Which is another tool.
That is pretty recommended.
Right, and if you're familiar with the little handheld rotary tools that are rechargeable or run on batteries,
Right.
this is a much more versatile tool, and they usually last anywhere from 10 to 20 years.
Wow.
So they're a lifelong tool, and it runs real smooth.
Does it have a foot pedal?
With a foot pedal, it's a
Okay.
variable speed. And what you want to do is when you're going to do an interior space, you're going to have to drill holes.
Now, would you normally wear glasses?
I would normally wear glasses. There we go. This is very important to wear safety glasses when you're doing this, or the optivisor, or some kind of magnification when you're doing that. So you drill your holes so that you can insert your saw blade at a later time.
Okay.
Now this is a bench pen, another thing that you need to have on your bench. It's basically just a block of wood with a V cut in it. And this allows you to hold the piece in one hand so that you can saw with the other. And this is a very rhythmic, very zen process. And so smaller blades make it a lot easier.
I'm amazed at how easily that's actually cutting through that metal.
Right, right. It's a little harder skill to learn at first, but you gotta stick with it and really just be relaxed when you do it. Because if you're not, you're gonna break a lot of blades.
Yeah. Relaxed and careful.
Yeah, very much so. And you can cut out sheet this way. You can cut out interior shapes and exterior shapes. And eventually, what you'll end up with is something like this. You know, this is one of those, it's a Japanese Celtic kind of knot.
Right, right.
And you'll be done. And you just peel off your paper, and you'll have your design there.
So that rubber cement just comes right off.
It comes right off, but it keeps that paper on. You don't want that paper going up and down. And if you saw me earlier, I used a lubricant, and you want to keep your blade lubricated so that it kind of glides as it cuts.
Right.
So, and when you're done there, you take needle files.
Now, Mark,
and you can go.
how did you do the interior cuts?
Okay. What you do is once you have your holes cut, you have to feed the blade through the holes. And you come through the back. These are really tiny little holes.
So those are the holes that you drilled? Okay. With the flex
And you feed it through, and then you got to pull it together to get that blade tight.
Oh. And so you cut it that way from inside.
Right. See, now my blade's on the inside of that form.
Oh.
And you just relax. You know, you got to have, you got to be up above your work a little bit. And you always got to keep that metal moving. And you got to keep the blade moving. If you stop moving the blade,
Yeah.
you're going to break some pieces.
So in this piece, are you cutting away the white or are you cutting away the black?
I'm cutting away the white because I drilled inside the white.
Right. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Now, you were showing us something with this?
Basically, just that when you're done, you can go in and clean up your filings with needle files.
Okay.
You can go around the outsides. You can also get smaller files and go on the inside and clean those up a little bit too.
Can you use different kinds of metal?
Oh
to do
yes,
this?
you can do this in silver, brass, copper, gold,
Yeah.
platinum, tin, steel, whatever kind of sheet metal you want. So.
That's great. Now, you brought a couple of examples with you of some items that you've cut out, which
I use
is
it, yes.
beautiful.
I
Look at
use
that.
this process on all those pieces.
It's gorgeous. And then look at this. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
We're going to be heading on location coming up next.